Hey, you are tuned in to Two Gems and a Mic with hosts Tanisha the Diva Mahomes and Linda L.D. Dorsey. Just know, if we talking about it, you need to hear about it. Unwind and enjoy. Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Two Gems and a Mic. I'm your girl, LD, along with my girl, Tanisha, the Diva Mahomes. What's up, Diva?
Hey, nothing much. Just been car shopping. You know I done wrecked my stuff, so I'm out here car shopping, and I don't put that on nobody, man.
Go on and get, go on and
They
get
out
that
here trying to
Bentley.
get a sale. Man,
Go
they
on and get
trying to
that
get a
Bentley and get it
sale.
over with. Just get your
I was
Bentley
almost
and get it over with.
Linda, I was almost held hostage the other day. That man would not they wouldn't let me leave. They did a full on attack. It was like the sales associate, then he went to get the manager, and then the manager. I was like, sir, we are not buying a car today.
They
Yeah,
only
it's
because
it,
they're not selling no cars. It's right after the
dude.
holidays. They're not
Oh
selling no
yeah.
cars. So it's the best time to
Supposedly
buy.
this
You
the
can talk
best
them
time to
down.
buy. Exactly.
Yeah.
Supposedly this the best time to buy, but they guarantee you gonna have to buy. They're not gonna let you leave.
They gonna
They're not gonna
tackle
let
you.
you leave. All right. So how you been doing? How's your week been?
It's been good. It's been real good. Been a good week. Had a good weekend. You know, we had some fun chatting on the phone. We really had fun on this next topic
What?
we getting ready to talk about.
I
That
know.
what do you want to call it? The championship game. I had to convince you to finish watching.
Man, I'm not even gonna lie. That was just devastating to watch. I mean, you know what? But obviously, I said Georgia was gonna win. I want of I, I wanted TCU to win, but said Georgia was gonna win. And mind you, I mean, I'm not making excuses because that was a massive beating, and
Mm-hmm.
but their running back, you know, their stud running back that ran for like 1,300 yards and had like, I don't know, 17, 18 touchdowns this year. You know, he was hurt in the Michigan game. They got beat up. They won the game, but they took some muggins in
They
the
took a
game, and I
mugging.
think
They
yeah, and I
took
think
no. They took a little beating in the Michigan game. They took
yeah,
a outright mugging in the game Monday night. And I tell you what, I did watch that kid play. The one you're talking about, the running back, he was good. He wasn't gonna
yeah,
make a difference because Georgia just couldn't do any wrong.
dude. I was just
Bowers and the other guy, good guy. I knew I was gonna forget his name. They they ate it. I mean, it was just
I
like
mean,
whatever he threw to him, they were catching it. And then he
yeah,
was running. I mean, it was just and the defense, they just played a great game. I thought coming
yeah,
out, I said, okay, TCU got that long one down there, digging through a long one. They caught it. I said, okay, they're gonna make a game. He ran it in, they're gonna make it a game. That was it.
I
That was the
know.
7 points. That was
That
early in
was
the
it.
first quarter. That was it.
It was like somebody went over to Georgia and said, "No more.
Yeah. I think
Get them."
I thought about Michael Jordan when 22 on defense, and I can't remember his name when he got burned on that long pass. I think it was like 60 yards. I think he took that personally because he got 2 interceptions after that. The only
He
reason he
did,
didn't get more is because he got hurt.
dude. Stetson Bennett could have had 10 touchdowns if they went. Dude,
They
it was
set
bad.
records. They
It
set
was
records.
just I couldn't go to the bathroom because I come back and the score was up by it was two more touchdowns. I was like, what is going on? Like scratch them.
Yeah.
Roll or something. Like it was just hard to watch. I felt so bad for TCU, but it doesn't take away from what they accomplished this year.
No, no.
They had an amazing season. It just ended poorly.
It
But they
did.
had a
It
great
was
season that they can lift their heads up and be proud about. And like I said, it just ended poorly.
It was like the perfect storm. Georgia's best game and TCU's
TCU's
worst game.
worst game.
That's what it
Absolutely.
came out to be because I think people had the expectations of more. The one thing that got me is I really saw people on like social media losing it. Like the committee, talking about the committee, you blew it. You didn't do this. TCU played a good game the week before. Like I
They
said,
earned
they
where
did
they
their
were at.
worst game. They did. They
They
earned their
earned
job.
that. Yes, they did.
Georgia, when you go back to it, Georgia barely made it in. They made it in because of a failed field goal. So when you look at it, yeah, were the two teams stars aligned? Those were the two teams that were there. Like I said, I just think that TCU played their worst game that they probably played in forever, and Georgia played the best game that they
Yes.
played all year. It was just one of those. So hats off to them Bulldogs. I thought one of the funny things was they got a red shirt. They got a red shirt Bulldog. Did you know that? They actually showed him in the cage. That was like one of the highlights. That the fact that I know that's how boring the game was, and that's how much they were showing other stuff. So they were showing the Bulldog because he didn't make the trip. He was back in Athens. He had on all the red. He had on the uniform. They had another red shirt one. He was in his little kennel. He couldn't come out and play. He wasn't trained yet. So, but
Lord.
just a little side note there, little fact.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
We're
right.
gonna move on, but I'm proud of TCU for everything that they did. They can hold their heads up. They played their hearts out. Hey, sometimes it's just the better team
Yeah.
wins, and Georgia was the better team.
Great. Agreed. So you want to
Well,
talk about?
yeah,
Go ahead, Tanisha.
yeah. Well, I mean, let's talk about this past the regular season and what about the season stood out to you. What what did you take away from this from the regular season heading off into the
I
playoffs
en-
here?
I enjoyed this season because I think there were some surprises. There were some parts of it that was disappointing. So I'll give you my take on the teams that are showing up. Right. So the Lions, not
Good
shocked.
Lord.
I think we agreed from the beginning that the Lions was that team. We thought next year was their year. This year was almost their year, but I do think they had a
Absolutely.
good year and they put the league on notice. The Rams, to me, total disappointment.
Mm,
The
mm.
Raiders, that was disappointing. They have their own issues, new coach, whatever. Packers, I was surprised by the Packers. But I think they learned some stuff. They came on late, but I was also disappointed in their last game. My Giants, I was pleasantly surprised. I think if you go back to our preseason, I didn't know what to expect.
Yeah,
I didn't put them
absolutely.
as last in the NFC East. I didn't have them as last. I had them above the Commanders, but I didn't see us going to the playoffs, to be quite honest. So I'm pleasantly surprised with that. And then the Broncos, I thought that was coaching and a lot of things going wrong there. So those were my big standouts of the year.
I mean, we were all over the Lions before everybody else was. I early on in the season, I said, "Hey, this team is good, and next year they're going to be in the playoffs." And they almost made me right this year.
Hmm.
The Rams, whether it's injury and just the lack of understanding what to do with the players that you got. Them shutting some of the other players down because it's just like the season is done. Now hearing Sean McVay, we'll talk about that a little bit later. The Raiders, I think Derek Carr kind of got a bad deal on that because he played the majority of his season without his tight end, Hunter Henry. I mean, not Hunter Henry, Hunter Renfro, and he got nothing for it. He got nothing for it at the end of the day. The plan all along was to bring in Stidham because Daniels brought him over from New England with him when he came, and I believe that was the plan the whole time. But
You
they
think so?
they
You think
lured.
that was a plan?
Absolutely, he brought
Yeah,
him with him, and
I've
they
heard that.
lured.
Okay.
He already had been in the system, his system
Hmm.
forever. He stood behind. It was behind Brady for a few years. He ended up having a back injury, but he was in that system. He knew the system well. They took their time and they developed him, and then he took him and he went over with them. So I think from the moment that I knew Stidham was over there, I was like, his plan is to get him in there and get Derek Carr out. But I think it's kind of shady the way that they got Devontae over there, knowing I think the grand plan was always that they were going to get rid of Carr. The Packers, I think a lot of their problems, you got to go back to thinking that Aaron Rodgers didn't take them guys early on. He didn't
Hmm.
work with them. They were all out of sync in the first part of the year, and what happened was they started to get more in sync towards the end, but it was a little too late.
Yeah. Agreed.
Your Giants, I'm not gonna lie, I think they gained a lot of respect from the division. I don't think anybody thought the Giants were gonna do anything. They got out there, they battled, they ball, got them believing in the system. I think there were a lot of missed opportunities. Like I said, there was I think that like Galladay, I didn't think they used him right, but
No.
overall, you guys are in the playoffs and it's not. I don't think anybody thinks that it's going to be easy game for Minnesota.
No.
So, and then we got the Broncos, and that was just, to me, early on. I talked about the coach. Go back and listen. Go back and look at the earlier podcast. We talked about his coach didn't even know how to uh, manage the clock. He was just
Right.
doing all kinds of random stuff. And sure enough, as soon as he gets fired and they put somebody else in place, Russ started looking like Russ.
Yeah,
So I think
he
that
did.
I think if I'm a Denver fan, I think I got something to look forward to. I think we got rid of some issues, and now Russell have the off season to work on with these guys, and I think next year they will be back in it, competing pretty aggressively in that division.
Yeah, I think of so many rumors coming out of what was wrong with them. They were broke. Russ was broke. This was this, and I don't think
Yeah,
that. I
Pat
think
was broke
everybody
too.
knew if that. Yeah, it was coaching, and I don't even. It's almost the front office, right? When are they held accountable? Everybody points at the coaches, and I think I said it last week or the week before. There's nobody's going to turn down those millions of dollars to go do a head
Nobody.
coaching job. They're hoping that they can get in there and do it. So he's going to say, "No, I'll pass. I won't take a head coaching job." They're not going to do that, and he didn't do it. He thought maybe, but he wasn't ready. And so, whatever interviews they had with other coaches or whatever, he was not the guy. He wasn't ready. So
Well, I
I don't
got a
know.
couple other teams because like
Go ahead.
Miami to me impressed me the most. When they were healthy, they looked dangerous.
Mhm.
And they got plagued with injuries. You know, we know the deal with Tua, the concussions, and they were a whole different team without him because Teddy Bridgewater was doing decent, but he couldn't finish the game. He didn't
Right.
finish one game. He came in, and so you ended up watching a third string quarterback, which was nowhere on the level of Teddy Bridgewater or Tua. So, but that team early on, healthy, looked quite uh almost, they looked like they were finna do some things.
Yeah.
They looked like they was going to destroy some people. So I expect them to come back, bounce back. And then the 49ers, I'm not sure what to think about that because originally it was Trey Lance. He got injured. We get Garoppolo back. Garoppolo gets injured. Now we got Purdy, and I think they got some decisions to make next
Oh
year.
yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We're gonna talk about them when we talk about the playoffs. The one team that I didn't and we didn't pop up here on the screen, another team is the Jags. The Jags
Mm.
was very disappointing at the beginning of the season, and now the Jags are who I thought they could be.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
Trevor
they are
Lawrence.
who we thought.
They are who we thought they are.
Yeah.
They are who we
But
thought they were.
yeah, so
Dang
I
right.
think I think yeah, I'm excited, and we'll talk about that. But I'm excited for that game, and I think that Peterson, that was a coach. They needed a coach. That guy
Mhm.
needed a coach. So we're gonna
Oh
break
yeah.
down
Come on. He didn't
NFC.
deserve. He didn't
Nah,
deserve what he got as a rookie. It
no,
just wasn't right.
no. We're gonna break down the NFC picture, the AFC playoff picture, right after this break. All right, welcome back, everybody. Where you want to start, Tanisha? You want to start with the
Start.
NFC or the AFC?
Let's start with the NFC.
All
Let's
right.
start with the NFC. So we know the Eagles have a bye. They deserved it. They played hard all year. They looked dominant this year. That team deserved to bye. I'm excited to see what they're going to do in the playoffs.
I
And
hope
of
getting that
course,
bye didn't cost them. I mean, I'm hearing that Jalen Hurts is hurting, but he's got 2 weeks to recover. So I want to see Philly. I want to see Philly healthy. I want to see them healthy going into it. They earned that, so you don't want them to limp into it, and they're not going to go anywhere without him. So they need a
absolutely,
healthy Jalen Hurts. So,
yeah,
um,
yeah.
okay, let's talk about their. Who you want to start with? Let's start with your people, Tampa Bay and
Okay.
Dallas, because that's been the talk all week.
Well, I'm going with my Cowboys, and I'm gonna tell you why.
Okay.
After the mugging that they took, you got to come up in that game with a chip on your shoulder, especially knowing that Brady and crew. what had us one and done last year. We not doing one and done 2 years in a row because everybody getting fired. I mean, they talking clean slate. I'm talking they're gonna kick everybody out the building. Kellen Moore, he can take his little pad and run. All of them, everybody is gone. If Dallas is one and done this year, so I'm thinking they come back. They're gonna have one of them dominant games, and it's gonna make it look. We're gonna be like walking out that mug thinking like the Cowboys got a chance to
Oh,
win it all.
you coming out like that? You
That's how
coming
I'm
out doing the
rolling.
wave? Okay. I don't know. It's a tricky game to me.
That's how I'm doing
I'm
it.
not I can't count Tampa Bay out. They're going to Tampa Bay. I think one of the reasons that it's going to be close, Dallas could put, I don't think it's a lack of talent, but I think the fear, the pressure that is on Dallas to win the game may come back and bite them in the ass. That's the only thing.
Well,
There's pressure on the coach. There's pressure on that. There's pressure on everybody to perform and get this right. And if you don't, like, the finger pointing is just going to be like all over the place. And
oh
they were
Lord,
talking about
yes.
McCarthy today, right? So Jerry Jones, of course, because he's the only one that speaks. I never hear Mike McCarthy speak. So you might as well call Jerry Jones the head coach, the quarterback,
You're
the
not
owner,
allowed to.
or GM, all that other stuff, right? So he says this his decision with Mike McCarthy will not be dependent on one
Oh
game.
no.
That's
He said his job is safe.
that's a lie.
He said his job is
You
safe.
believe it? You believe it?
His nose was growing the whole time he was talking, but he said it with a straight face.
He did.
He said, "Man, if we lose this game, I'm telling you, everybody packing up.
Well, you see,
Everybody packing up."
that's the
Now let me
last that's the last
now,
game of the week. I mean Monday night, but that everybody gonna be glued because you got the haters. You got the
but
Cowboys haters.
you got to game plan this correctly. The Tampa Bay is getting in this stride, and we going the opposite way. This got to be game planned correctly. We got to use our running backs. We got to get going and make it
You gotta use
easier on
everything.
Dak. Make it easier on Dak, and then you know what? This I want the defense to play for Dak the same way they was playing for Cooper Rush. I want them to go out there and give Dak everything as if he is Cooper Rush, because he just may need it. He's struggling a little bit. Step up for him, make it light on him, help him out, and we're gonna get through this.
Okay.
We rolling on to the next round.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm I just want to see a good game. I can't say I'm gonna be cheering for Dallas. I don't know if I'm gonna be cheering against Dallas, but I
You
can't say
better.
I'm cheering for them. It's a hard one to call. It could go either way. It could go either way.
Well, I was
Let's
gonna
jump
say it.
down
I
to
think we coming with a chip on our shoulder. I'm bleeding blue. We gonna pull this off.
okay,
We gonna pull
okay.
this off. So let's talk about your Giants and Vikings.
It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be a tough game. I'm not counting my boys out. I think we went in there. We played a good game. We had turnovers. We need to play a clean game. The last time we were in Minnesota, the turnovers hurt us. The block, what was it? The block field goal or block punt that hurt us. They beat us with a 61, 62-yard field goal.
Mm-hmm.
So, is it impossible? No. I mean, I saw some things on Sunday that I had not. Excuse me. Well, the week before that I had not seen when we had to clinch. We look good. I know it was Indy. Everybody said Indy doesn't have a horrible defense.
Decent, dude. I don't care what nobody say. They need a
Right.
quarterback.
So we look good. I think, Galladay's been one that's been getting a bad rap. They're like he's garbage, he's garbage. I don't think Galladay is garbage. I
Dude, he
think
is not.
I think, and you know how I feel about Daniel Jones. I don't think he's garbage. I don't think Daniel Jones is garbage either. I don't think Daniel Jones has figured out how to get the ball to different players, or he has that trust. You have to Galladay. Get the man the ball. He was able to catch it the whole time he's in Detroit. All of a sudden he can't catch a ball. No, that's not
Dude.
the case. He's not getting enough
Mm-hmm.
targets. I can take that back a little bit to say the same thing with Kadarius Toney. Right? Here's a guy, now all of a sudden he's in Kansas City, and I'm not comparing Pat with Daniel Jones because there's no comparison, but a quarterback that knows how to get the ball. Daniel Jones doesn't have that yet. So that's why I say with the receivers, and then he just wears the receiver out. Minnesota, I don't have the confidence in Kirk Cousins, but I'm going to tell you what, that scares me is the fact that Jefferson hasn't had a great game in about 3 games.
Well, I'm gonna tell you. I think people are starting to see a little bit. I'm not gonna say it's a blueprint because that's not right. This is a man that has dominated. But when you see how Green Bay was handling him. I think you start to say, well, you know what? Until he can adjust, let's keep running it at him. Same thing that they do with most teams. If you see one team is successful with something, the other team run back right back out there and do it. So if you guys got the defensive players to pull off what Green Bay was able to pull off, I think y'all have a chance.
Yeah, I
Because
agree.
I mean, because I'm telling you, I mean, I people get upset when they don't get the ball. And I watched Jefferson have a meltdown just about on the sideline. And I'm thinking to myself, dude, you're the man.
Yeah.
Let's put some water on our faces, splash it out, and let's get back there. Let's get back in there and
And
make
I
some
don't think
plays.
it was anything that what's the word? I'm looking. I don't think it was like a negative thing. He just wants to play and be a part of it. And he feels like I'm not a part of it. So
Winning.
um go ahead.
He used to winning. That winner mentality when you, and you know you and most of them depend on him. Yeah,
Yeah.
you gonna have that. I see something like that. I'm like, dude, shake that off. I'm looking for Kurt to run over there and tell him, hey man, I'm coming to you like I always do. You know,
Hmm.
get him going.
But Osborne and Thielen have been doing what they need to do. So it's
Born ain't
almost
never been
like
bad to me.
right. And the thing is that Jefferson has to understand, hey, I'm not, if you're not open, I got to go to these guys because they are. And you're going to get double team, triple team, whatever the case may be. So looking forward to all I want is good games. All I want is good games. So I'm looking for a good game. Let's go to the San Francisco, Seattle.
Well, I'm looking at how Kittle's playing,
Oh my God.
right? I'm looking at how Kittle's playing, and I'm thinking, y'all in trouble. Seattle in
Hmm.
trouble. I mean, I don't know where Purdy's luck run out. I don't know. Is it is Garoppolo back healthy in case Purdy go out there and when that pressure hit him, he turned back into Purdy, the rookie. Is Garoppolo healthy enough to get out there and play? I mean,
Right.
if so, I mean, I feel like they're even in a position where if Purdy go down and Garoppolo is healthy, they just pick back up with the old. They can still they're deep enough to have some issues and still overcome those issues. But I'm looking at the way that Gino has been playing, and I'm like, dang, Gino. I've been King Gino since day one, and I told everybody Gino is better than people think. This guy was drafted in the second round. He was supposed to be in the first round, but he ended up falling down to the second. And I'm
Hmm.
thinking Gino ain't been playing like Gino lately. Gino gonna have to get back on it, or it's gonna get ugly.
Oh
It's
yeah, it's
gonna
gonna
get
get
ugly
ugly quick, especially with
quick.
That San Francisco defense. You ain't got a whole lot of time to adjust, so you better
What,
come out and you better come out on top of your game. I think the San Francisco defense playing great football, but you got Christian McCaffrey,
dude?
Debo back, you
Yeah,
got Kittle that you just said, just them three alone.
talking about IU,
But I'm just talking
Brandon.
about just them three alone
But
coming
Ayuk
back
is
and playing. But
deadly,
Ayuk has been playing too, right?
dude. He been
It's a
playing.
lot of weapons that you have to deal with San Francisco. They're one of my sleeper teams. I don't know if it's a sleeper team. One of my teams to
Ain't
see
nobody
that.
sleeping on
I'm
that.
saying, yeah, I see them going shit. It's a possibility they could go to the. I have them in Philly. I actually have them in Philly for the NFC Championship game, but that's a whole nother story. But
All right.
yeah, San Francisco looks really good. Seattle can't. I mean, Seattle got Metcalf. They've got weapons, and if they get the
Did
young
you
guy,
see?
what's his name, Walker,
Did
the
you see
running back.
Lockett's catch the other day?
Oh, Lockett ain't gonna disappoint. If
Dude,
he's
I'm gonna
healthy,
need
he's not gonna
everybody to
disappoint.
show Lockett some love. Y'all need to
Yeah,
start. Lockett needs some big checks. This dude has been doing it and doing it consistently. I love this cat. This dude just came back from injury. Whop, come
that's
right in
him.
there. Just that's Lockett, baby. He consistent. Get this man some love. I mean, Lockett can be a game
A game
changer
changer. Oh,
if
absolutely.
Gino is on.
That's the key. If Gino can float it to him, because Lockett and Rush used to have that. Just put that rainbow up there, and it was gonna fall
What?
right in his hand. Metcalf, he's got to get into it and get into his game, keep his mind right, because he can lose it at any
Oh
moment. And
yeah.
Walker, the running back, you got to have some kind of running game, to get that passing game going. So we'll see what happens there. But
Like I say, it can be a good game, but the way that the 49ers are playing right now, long as the quarterback is doing this thing, not making mistakes, not turning the ball over, I'm going with the 49ers on that.
okay, I'm going with the 49ers. We agree on that. I'm going with my Giants, and I'm going with Tampa Bay.
Okay, fair enough. I'm going with the Cowboys. I'm going with the Vikings, and I'm going with the Niners.
Okay. Sounds
All right.
good. Let's move over here. Jump over to the AFC. So, Kansas City got the bye. I'm gonna tell
Absolutely.
you the game. The one I'm most we're gonna start at the top. The one I'm most
Mhm.
excited about: Jacksonville and the Chargers.
I am as well. I am excited about this game because I'm looking at how Trevor Lawrence is playing. Dude, this is gonna be a game, and I don't know, but I know Mike Williams went out
He's
the
back. They said
last
he'll be
game.
back. No, they
Is
said
he
he'll
gonna
be
be
back.
back?
Yeah, they
Yeah,
said
but
he'll
see,
be he'll be ready.
see, Mike Williams came back for the Chiefs game too early, hurt his ankle. Mike, they've been rushing him back. I'm not sure that Mike Williams is healthy enough. So the fact that he's back, I'm gonna need in my mind, I need to know that he's 100% healthy. Mike Williams, I don't believe he's healthy right now. Um, ah, uh-uh.
So you're
I
going
see
with
some. I
here's the
no,
thing.
I'm gonna go.
Jacksonville.
I'm going
Go
with the
ahead.
Chargers because
Okay.
I think that Herbert is a better quarterback than Lawrence. And with the way Keenan Allen has been playing, and if Mike Williams is able, I think was it hurt his back this last time?
Yes. Yes.
If he is able to play, I just got Herbert going. And don't get me wrong, I think Trevor Lawrence is going to be an amazing quarterback. This dude is showing why he was the number one pick.
Mm-hmm.
But right now, that everybody been talking about Herbert not getting it done, and now Herbert's in the playoffs. I just don't see Herbert going out first
Okay.
game.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go with the
I
Chargers.
I think for me, I'm going with Jacksonville. I think Peterson is a great coach. I don't think that Jacksonville, even though they got into the playoffs, Trevor Lawrence, he played a horrible game. He'll tell you he played a horrible game. They won that game because of defense. And he said it, right? So they
He's
got
been
another
playing
pick
good.
six. But he was overthrowing people. I don't know if it was nerves, or maybe he got it out of his system. So we got to see what's going on. He's good. And I mean, the dude is fast. So seeing that, and you
Right,
got a
a lot
coach.
more mobile than you
And
thought.
it may come down to coaching. So Staley, I mean, come on. You ain't going for it on fourth down every time. You ain't doing some of the stuff that you've been doing. And he's a little nervous too, because
Well,
his name, he on the
it's
hot
in that
seat.
pool.
That's
Yeah,
right.
it's in that
He's on the
pool.
hot seat. So okay, you got the Chargers. I got Jacksonville. Let's go down here to Cincinnati and Baltimore.
Cincinnati because I'm hearing Lamar is not back. I'm hearing they're going with Huntley, and I don't think Huntley can beat the Bengals. Now, if it was Lamar, I'd be straight going with the Ravens against what everybody is seeing with the Bengals because Lamar is the game changer. But I've
Yes.
been saying this for a while. When Lamar went down with that injury, I done had what 6, 7, 8 knee surgeries or something. I said then, I said Lamar is hurt.
Yeah.
He is hurt. I don't care. I always, I had a couple people tell me they thought he might have snuck a little surgery in there and been trying to, get back. But I'm telling you, Lamar is hurt. And the fact that he can't play now, what we on week 5, 6 now? He's been out 5th week, 6 weeks he's been out, and
5 weeks.
he can't come back in there and play. Yeah, he's hurt.
Yeah.
They're in trouble. They're in trouble.
Yeah, they said he hadn't felt right since he tested his knee before that Bengals game. So I don't know. I'm with you. If he doesn't play, I don't think Baltimore can pull this off.
No,
If he was playing, I think it was different. But I would also say if he had been playing maybe like last week and then this week. So I don't know. And
no.
it's not worth him going out there and sacrificing having possibly an injury that could take you out of next year or early next year. So um
Well, let me
I
ask you. Let me ask you
mhm.
this. I just told you what I think. Is it possible that they've got it in their mind they're not going to pay Lamar?
I
And
don't know what they're thinking because I still don't know why they didn't pay him at the beginning of the year.
oh yeah, well we
So I
don't.
don't understand. I don't know what the thought process is. I mean, you extend Harbaugh
Yeah, we don't know
and
what
then you
thought
don't
process.
extend the guy that's been carrying him because
He
Lamar's
don't.
been carrying him. So
He
I
didn't
don't know
even
how
know how
you
to.
right.
He
That
didn't
I
even
don't
know how to
understand
use the
that.
kicker. He cost them all kinds of games. They wouldn't even be as low as they were if he realized that Justin Tucker is one of the best kickers in the damn league.
Right. So I don't
Yeah,
understand, how you keep Harbaugh and then you say, I'm gonna go get another quarterback. You're not gonna find another quarterback that's dynamic like this guy. So I'm
absolutely
not
not.
sure. But I gotta go
He's elite.
with Cincinnati. So we're agreeing on that.
Hmm.
Buffalo, let's go Buffalo and Miami. So we know Tua's out.
So it's interesting because some of the better teams have been blessed with playing opponents that are decimated by injuries. Bills and the Dolphins. I do not want to see them trot Skylar out. That is a whole mugging waiting to happen. Don't nobody want to see that.
Yeah,
Don't nobody want to see Josh Allen out there running over folks, throwing dimes left and right, and then Skylar going out there and giving them the ball back. Because that's exactly what's going to happen. Because one thing we know about the Bills, they turn it up a notch in the playoffs.
they do.
They over that. They turn it over. They turn it up now. It's gonna be ugly. I hope Tua gets cleared
He's
just
not.
for the
They
sake
said
of a
he's not.
small mugging.
He's done. He's not playing. He's ruled out for the game. So he's
Well,
out.
there's that.
So I can tell you this, that like you said, Buffalo run over. It's going to be on the defense. It's going to be on the Miami defense to do some amazing stuff. And this guy to have a game of his life.
But they're gonna have to step it all the way up. They're gonna
Yeah.
have to have so much pressure on Josh Allen that he is throwing interceptions and forgot how to run. You,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? They're gonna need it all to
The
line up
Miami defense. Yeah, the
like a
Miami
Georgia
defense ain't bad.
TCU.
Yeah, the Miami defense is not bad, like you say, but you got to put points up.
Yeah, but
And they got the weapons, but you need the quarterback. Teddy, they say, is still trying to heal that dislocated finger. So I don't know
yeah,
if he's going to
broke.
be out there. But right now, huh?
If Teddy was there, I'd give him
Give him a
a
chance.
better chance because Teddy wasn't playing bad the last time. He threw that one pick six and he got, small mugged down to the ground and
Yeah,
all that. But he was, with Teddy, you feel like there's a
there's a
chance.
chance.
With
Yeah,
Skyler, I just don't see that. And it's not his fault. This is a
yeah,
young guy. He's thrown in a situation. He's making the best of it. And I'm not saying he's playing horrible. Actually, for what he's doing, I think he's doing pretty well. But I just don't think he's ready for that level of competition after seeing, how hungry Josh Allen, watching him and them changing rules for him, everything. So
right.
yeah,
And
it's just a bad break for him.
Teddy limited practice today, so he's trying to get ready. He's doing whatever he can. So we'll see. We'll
Yeah,
see. But right now I'm going with Buffalo too. So my
yeah.
my Buffalo has a lot of weapons too. Buffalo
Mm-hmm.
wants to get back. Buffalo still stinging. They got some stuff that's hurting them, from last year, whatever. And they've got some motivation with the young man from last week. So it's a couple of things going on there. But I got Jacksonville, Cincinnati, and Buffalo.
Well, I got the Chargers, Cincinnati, and Buffalo.
Okay. All right. All right.
But
Let's mhm.
like plays, then I feel
If
like
Teddy plays a little different.
it's a little bit different. But with
Okay.
Skyler, straight up Buffalo.
Right. Okay.
All right.
All right. Let's talk about this coaching carousel. We're gonna wrap it up with that. With
Oh
a little news,
Lord,
the coaching carousel, right? So Houston's Lovey Smith, we kind of seen that
that was so
coming.
funny though. Ooh, that was funny when he went for them two. When he went for the two, Lord, I knew.
But he said he had told him in the meeting he wasn't losing it. He said that makes sense to him. I saw the press conference. He said it don't make sense to me. You got to lose a game.
But well, like I said, he said, the number one pick is good. The number two pick is good too. Most people say the number one pick and the number two pick is good,
Mm-hmm.
but he did not want to go out. They messed up and talked to him too early. They should. They showed their cards, and he
Lovey
was
said,
like,
"Not me."
Coach was like, I
Yeah,
got y'all. I
yeah,
got y'all. Yeah, I got something for you. We going for two. We throwing bombs. We doing all that to make that happen. We going all out.
yeah.
I
Lovey
mean,
said, "I'm
all
not built
out.
like
Hail
that."
Marys, all of that. Oh yeah,
He
that was
did.
beautiful to watch. It was
He
funny too.
said, "Yeah, I was cracking up." He said, "I'm not built like that. I'm going for it." And was standing over
Hey,
there
I
just
ain't
like
mad at
Lovey
him.
Smith. So yeah, and they fired him, but you know what? He gonna get a check.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna tell you. You talk to a man and the dude is out there playing with and actually trying to make it competitive. Most of those games they played, they played
They
competitive.
did. They were
And
competitive.
you realize that he just got rid of one African American coach after a year. Then you gonna turn back around and he like, you gonna do me like that? Oh, I got
Yeah,
something for
I
y'all.
got something for you. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
y'all. It's gonna cost y'all. It's gonna cost
Mm-hmm.
y'all to get that quarterback. Because if I'm Chicago, I'm just getting one in you. I'm just getting it, just
Just take it,
dangling
just
it.
cause. Right,
I'm just
right.
gonna dangle it. Everybody need one. I'm just gonna dangle it over their face.
That's
Cause
funny.
I
That's
don't
funny.
even know. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, they won't
Yeah,
be willing to
Lovey,
give it all up.
Lovey gonna
Yeah,
be fine. I like Lovey Smith. He gonna be fine. Arizona's Cliff, Cliff Kingsbury. I mean, you
yeah,
thought Cliff had a chance. Cliff
yeah.
is
I
trying.
did.
Cliff was trying everything. Cliff came out the first play of the game with the flea flicker, like, "Oh yeah, we gonna do this." And the commentators even said it. They said, "Oh, Cliff doing anything he can to save that job."
What?
I
But
didn't. I
here's the
didn't think he.
thing, though. Cliff is fine. I the Cliff's contract, Cliff's agent, that's all guaranteed.
Yeah,
So he got what they just signed him for a 6 year extension. So he just got 5 years worth of money. After 1 year's worth of work.
and he can go
So
back to college and coach.
man, what? And he will get right on somewhere and get over there and air raid them to death. Get right back on there and be right back in business. Cliff is got swag. He's gonna be fine. He's gonna be
Yeah.
just fine.
He
But
just
I
wasn't the
did
guy for the job. And everybody said, "Oh, I mean, even when to me, it's almost like, Arizona, you kind of get what it's a little karma because you should have never got rid of Steve
well
Wilkes. You didn't give him a
that's that
chance. You gave him 1 year.
well
You gave him 1 year. Then you brought in a coach, right? So here we're talking again about another
yeah.
African American coach that you gave 1 year with a quarterback that ain't even, I don't even think he's on a roster now.
What Rose? Listen, but he had no protection.
None.
Like they were just running through rock, just
Right.
killing Rosen.
So that's what
None.
he had nothing to play with. You knew that you were going down and you were going to get the first pick, and you wouldn't give this coach a chance
A
with the
chance.
first pick. But then you go get a college coach who ain't won jack. So somebody who failed up, right? He failed up, and you got that. He had a good year because he had the players. Then he had
He
players
picked
just
it.
fall in
He
his
picked
lap.
his quarterback. He picked his
Yeah,
quarterback.
yeah,
All 5, 10 of them. He picked them.
yeah, yeah.
So it's kind of hard. But I mean, he did get them. They did get him players. Uh, all in all, should Cliff have gotten the job at the time he
No,
got the job? No, he
no.
should not. And a lot of people wanted Cliff to fail, but helping Cliff fail was a plethora of injuries. I mean, this year was just kind of like it was almost like it was destined for him to get up out of there. I'm talking, DeAndre being out because of steroids. I'm talking Ertz going down when he was playing like better than he's played in years. Uh, um, Connor being banged up, them having to put the Enzo, whatever his name in,
Yeah,
them losing who else was it? One of the receivers. Somebody else got hurt. Hollywood Brown
yeah.
gets hurt, gets there and gets hurt. I mean, it was just one thing
They were
after
lined up.
another.
They were lined up to win, but I also don't think just with the injuries and what was going on the sidelines, and we all saw it, is Cliff didn't have control of that team.
Oh
So it
no.
wasn't a college team, and I don't think he knew how to coach men, or he
Well,
wasn't ready to coach men, grown men making millions of dollars,
well, I
and
mean,
all the shenanigans that was going on the sidelines was kind of like. Again,
I
Kyler
don't know. I,
Murray, to me, I'm
I
like, he needs to mature a little bit too, to me, because he had a lot of shenanigans on the sidelines that weren't addressed. And maybe they were addressed behind closed doors, but the stuff that was going on in the field should have never been allowed to happen on the field.
thing with that was I'm looking at DeAndre and DeAndre like I'm wide open.
Hmm.
He talking to Kyler. Now Kyler got an attitude, and he gonna go over there and look up to Cliff mad. And he on the sideline looking up, talking trash.
Well, you
And
know
I
why
know,
Kyler couldn't see him.
he couldn't see him. That's why I say he looking up to Cliff, talking trash to Cliff, and Cliff over here. I know Cliff was like, you know what I mean, like.
Yeah,
But we
yeah,
just paid you. With that 189. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like I know. So it was a lot going on.
No, it
But
was.
watching Kyler, him getting banged up at the end of the year, so they out there with Colt. Colt didn't turn around and get hurt. I mean, it was just all downhill. Some things it just seemed like it lined up, but I really did think they was gonna give him another year, but just based off of the massive amount of injuries, and I felt like he probably should have got another year
Another
based
year.
off of what he was working with this year, but they was just like it's time to
Yeah,
that
I think
train was
whoever's running that, they
woo
jumped the gun.
choo
They jumped
trying
the
to
gun on
go.
Steve. It'd be funny if Steve Wilkes wound up back there, but if I was Steve Wilkes, I probably wouldn't take the job.
Nah,
But
I don't think
yeah,
he's going back.
yeah, I don't think he's going back. All right,
Nah,
let's talk
he ain't
about
going.
Sean McVay. This is a little tricky.
I'm gonna let you get in there first because I know how you feel about him. Go ahead.
Well, I never thought he was the genius that everybody thought he was. I thought he had good players. I thought he had very good players. He was a good coach. But, he was like the genius. When people throw that word around, they throw that word around a lot. And I'm like, no. To me, a genius is somebody who can take very little and make a lot. He had a lot and got to the Super Bowl the first time and choked. Last year he had everything, so he won. But he has not been that dude. And then this year, it was like he didn't know what to do. People started getting hurt, and it was like sometimes you see him on the sidelines and he'd be looking like, what happened? Like they make a good play. Like I saw him, he was so excited when Baker Mayfield won that game. It was like he had won a Super Bowl again.
What? He
And it
wasn't
was
even
like
used to
the
winning.
heart, yeah, the heart is going at him. So he's saying, I mean, is the dude 40 years old yet?
I don't think so. He's
I
thinking
think he's
like 30
39,
something.
38, 39. And he's like, oh, he's burnt out. He needs to take some time to do it. But he's the type of dude that he'll do that and somebody will give him a job.
Really think. I think you went up there and you traded all the future picks and you taking a look at what you got now and you're like there is no way we can compete with what we have right now on our roster. And we
Mhm.
can't go get nothing else cuz we done already gave all that away. So I'm gonna step away, let somebody else take this
Deal with
mug,
this
and then
nonsense. Yep.
y'all remember me as a coach that won the Super Bowl, and then got some players that were injured, too injured, and they make it seem like that's what I think is wrong. I want to see you go back in there and work with
And
some of that
coach.
nonsense that you created.
I want to see him coach.
Giving up two first rounders for Stafford. I want to see you work with some of that you created.
Because he could have did the
Ramsey,
same thing
Jalen
if
Ram,
he
all
had
that.
well, if he had the
Yeah,
patience with Golf, he could have did the same thing. Because I think Golf's a
he
good
sure
quarterback
could
and he's
have.
shown it. So he couldn't coach. I
Yeah,
think there was something lacking in the coaching. I mean, maybe good. He's calling plays. That's fine. But it was just like, are you? He always said the right thing in the press conferences and all of that.
I
Knew
mean
what to
people
say,
love him.
and he was boy genius. But I mean,
He
the
got out
Rams were
coached by
disappointed.
Belichick
Yeah. Oh, he got punked
quick.
by Belichick. But the Rams didn't show up this year, nor did the coach. So it's just one of those things. Like, and I mean, you got something else on him?
Nah, that's it.
Okay. I
That
think the
he just
last
ain't
thing we
he
are
ain't willing to sit through that disaster he created.
nah.
He moving on. He about to beat feet. Some
Yep.
would call him smart.
Yeah. Okay. All
He
right.
about to beat feet.
We already talked about Mike McCarthy, so we know what's going on with him.
Yeah,
When
Jerry said he good. We know he not. but but come back and tell him he good before the game so he feel better about his life.
right.
But yeah, let him lose.
Yeah.
He gonna know right out the gate. He
Right
gonna
after
be
yeah.
nervous. Yeah, he gonna be nervous in the
Tues
conference.
Tuesday morning. Might be on the field. Who knows?
Oh, post conference, the post game. He be see what's gonna happen. After sit down with yeah, we'll be on that. No, you know what's gonna happen. They'll hit you
Yeah.
like Lovey. They'll
Hmm.
hit him right out the gate like Lovey.
Like, yeah, they didn't wait on Lovey, did they? They was like,
Nah,
God.
they was like, oh, for real,
All
you're
right.
out. Yeah.
All right,
So
what you gonna take us out with, Tanisha? What you got?
Well, wait a minute. There's one more thing. It's a couple teams making some moves and stuff, and the Chiefs
Okay.
actually picked up. They signed John Ross to a futures
Futures Day. I saw that.
futures deal. So everybody knows John Ross is
He was
holds
with
the
us.
he hold. I know he was, but for some reason y'all didn't sign him back when
Nah,
when
not sure
at
what
the end of the
happened. We
year.
didn't sign him back.
But
He's been out for a year.
he
And he
he
was
he
with
worked out for the Chiefs, and they like what they saw, so they
when
signed
he
him.
was with the Bengals before that, right? The Bengals
Oh yeah, he
drafted
was
him.
with the Bengals. He was with the Bengals at first, and I'll never forget this. But Marvin, he first play he ever made, he goes down, he's about 12 yards out, whop, ball come over here and sit right here on this bench. And anybody see him the rest of the year. Like I thought that was devastating. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? You don't do somebody like that. You put him back out there, you let him get his confidence. He ripped his confidence out of his chest. And then he had a couple years where he did a little something, then did a little bit. I think in 2019 was like his best year. But that's a kid that if by any chance he can get on a team that is willing to work with him and get him back and he can stay healthy because I know he had some shoulder problems
Hmm.
and some knee injuries. If he's healthy enough to play, he's a problem. He's the
Okay.
fastest guy in the NFL
Okay.
ever.
All right. All right. We'll see. We'll see. What else you got?
That's it. That's all I
Okay.
really got. Obviously, I'm grateful that Demar is out and he is doing better and better every day. He's been transferred over to a hospital over in Buffalo, and I'm
Oh, so he is
so
in a
grateful.
hospital. Is he still in a hospital? Okay.
He
Okay.
didn't they didn't release him. They released him to
To
go
go
to
home.
transport back over. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So they got still watch him for a little bit, but they say he's getting better. I think last time I saw he was breathing at 50% on his own, and every day was getting better. So I'm just thankful for that. That's something it hits dear to me because I was in this massive accident and I could have lost my entire family. So uh, I'm looking at life completely different. We've had those discussions. I lost my mom last year. I'm looking at life completely different. Anytime you see a young man be out there getting CPR and then come back and bounce back and he's got a chance to, go live his life, man, that's worth
Yeah.
that's worth it
Oh, it
all to me.
absolutely is. And the one thing that I wanted to bring up because of that, because I've seen everybody talk about prayer. I heard something about his name. I can't think of his name. He played for us, the running back that saved his two children,
Allman?
and he's intensive care. No,
Oh,
Paris.
no, no, no. Oh, I know you talking about. Yeah, I saw that. He
Yeah,
they were drowning and he
Paris
jumped in
Hillman. Is it Hillman?
no, him and that dude played for Denver. He
Paris
died.
Hilton. No, that's the
No.
woman. No, 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 no.
No.
What is his name? Darren, you can jump in here if you
No,
know
no,
his
no.
name.
It's no, Hillman was the dude that passed away from Denver Broncos. The guy that you're talking about, his kids were drowning and he jumped in and saved his children and now he's fighting for his life.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's a shame that I can't remember his name.
You better get on
But
it, Bleed Blue.
huh?
You better get on it, Bleed Blue.
Yeah, he played for a couple of teams, and I think he
You done
played
called
for
him
us
Paris Hilton and
also.
everybody.
I done called him everything, and it's
You
a
done called him
shame that I
everything but his
didn't.
name.
It just popped back in here. But come on, come on, come on. Yeah, Darren, you're supposed to help us out. Pop that in there. But I just want to say, praying for him when the people put the prayers out there. And the one thing I just never understand about us, and I say us, I mean us as a country, us as this, so many things divide us, and so many silly things divide us. And it takes a tragedy to bring us together. And it shouldn't be like that. I mean, we had nine
Yeah.
11, we had this, we had, and this young man with football and everybody with their prayers and
Hmm.
everything. So I think it was great that it happened, and people that have faith, you believe in that, but it's sad that it takes that to bring us together. So
It's Peyton Hillis.
thank you, Peyton. I don't know why I kept saying Paris. So Peyton Hillis, my prayers go up to him. I think
His
his
family.
kids are doing fine, and his family.
That's a real
So
man. Like
yeah,
everybody. When it comes to your children, you're
he
willing to throw it all
sacrificed.
away.
Yeah, so
Absolutely.
he's in intensive
It's a
care.
hero.
So we pray for him and we pray for his family. I'm so sorry that I could not think of his name, just drew a complete blank. But thank you for
Because
looking
you
that up. Yep.
absolutely no problem.
Yep. So Tanisha, what we gotta say now?
Well, if we're talking about it, you need to hear about it. And
That's right.
always remember,
Be kind, be blessed. It's free. Peace.
peace.
Thank you for tuning in to Two Gems on the Mic. Be sure to subscribe and follow. Until next time, remember, be kind, be blessed. Peace.